And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You ever heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
I had no idea she was going to do that. Oh, now we're recording. Hey, at the beginning of this, no, I'm not going to say it because you'll just use this instead of actually doing it. I need Hooray for Hollywood at the beginning.
Hooray for Hollywood.
We don't like Hollywood.
What?
Hollywood's a shithole.
That's fine. But just it's the Oscar show.
There's no hoorays.
So make it like the Oscar show. All right, anyways.
Don't tell me how to fucking produce.
Please stop.
I don't tell you how to do your job.
I hate you so
I'll
much.
tell you how to host.
Okay. 3, 2. Hello, everybody, and welcome to I'll Watch It Later podcast. We have a special episode for you today. This will be our Oscar picks and let me introduce everybody around the table, then I'll go over how it works. So I am Aaron, as always, joined by my best friend Jordan.
Hello.
And my producer. Oh, well, we don't know. Producer, best friend, and brother-in-law, but maybe producer. I don't know.
For now.
Third mic.
Threatened to quit the show like 80 times. Scott.
Hello.
So, thank you for joining us this weekend. Doing it a little bit different. We'll be back with Scott's movie next week, and then an amazing snack show. I cannot wait for the snack show.
I almost brought just this giant ass box full of snacks, and then I'm like, we don't have enough room in here to keep them, so I left them at home.
I know,
but
it's just getting
seeing
smaller
what you
by
had
the
already
day.
grabbed, and then you found stuff today, and then what I've got.
I don't even think Scott has it
again. Who
This
cares?
room gets smaller, but thankfully, it's only 1%.
No, Scott. I think got the Pepsi Nitros, so we'll deal with that. But
Yeah.
we
Can
have
you get the? Hold on.
have a fucking lot of stuff.
Can you get the pancake?
I'm trying.
Okay.
Yes. Dude, I don't even need. I want the box. Did you see the box comes with like a?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
All right. Anyway,
Anyway,
yes.
what?
Anyway.
No, not anyways.
No.
I
You
wanna
get
talk
mad when
about
we talk
snacks.
about snack shows before any other shows. I'm just saying
Hooray for Hollywood.
Anyway,
we're celebrating the Oscars.
how this is going to work, and just so everybody knows, the Oscars is tomorrow. You can listen to this at any time, clearly, because it's a podcast, and that's how podcasts work. But if you want to go back and check our picks or see what we have to say, and you've already seen the Oscars, that's cool. But how this should work is you should listen to this show first, then watch the Oscars, and then laugh at us at how wrong we are.
Yeah, prioritize us first.
We're recording this the day before the Oscars, so
Yes.
anything that we pick or choose or we guess or whatever is all solidified prior to the Oscars, so we have no idea who's winning.
Right.
We have no idea what's going on. We've watched pretty much everything, so we know.
Even Scott, I was very impressed by. He kept texting me that he was watching movies. I don't think you saw everything.
I did not see everything.
I don't think you
but
saw Drive My Car.
I tried to hit the heavy hitters.
Or Belfast
Yeah.
or anything like that.
And I tried to hit the ones that were kind of being talked about, but I couldn't get to everything.
There's some on the list that I'm actually surprised you saw, but I'm happy you saw
when he
them.
texted the other day about one of them, and he said, guys, this was awesome.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we'll go over that.
Scott,
in a little
exactly,
bit.
but Scott really put in
I'm
a mediocre amount of work this time, and I was really happy about it.
I put in about 30% this time.
Hey, it's
and
10%.
Well, you
more
just
than
moved
usually.
in. So I understand.
I just moved in. It's 29% more than what I had the previous week.
Exactly.
So how this is going to work is I'm going to go through all the categories. We're going to go through them all. Even though we haven't seen them all, it's not a lot. They took away a lot of categories this year. So how this is going to work is we're going to give our predictions. We're going to give what we think is going to win, what we want to win, and the wild card. So something that could win that's off the wall, and our reasons why. That way the show can go an hour, and that way, we can analyze everything. So that's how it's going to work. A lot of these categories we're not going to spend a ton of time on. The big ones, best actor, best supporting actor, best actress, best supporting actress, best picture, best director, all that stuff we'll definitely dive into. But there's best original screenplay and stuff like that. And although I do have an opinion on these,
Not you.
We're not going to spend a ton of time.
Oh, we're going to spend an hour on the short film live action category.
So,
full of movies no one's heard of.
Without further ado, and this will just be a roundtable discussion, I'll give my opinion last. We'll start with Jordan.
Well, I'll give my opinion where it's needed.
What do you mean?
Because I don't I haven't seen all these, and I just don't feel like. For me, Oscars is not a huge part of my
You have
movie-going
seen
thing.
most of the movies, though.
I've seen some of them,
You've seen-
but I don't know if I can talk to like a best actor or if I can talk to like a best actress. Or
But like I'm about to read, so we're going to start with the first category, which is writing original screenplay. You have seen 99% of these films, so
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
well, let's see.
All right.
I'll tell you.
Look, he'll produce his opinions when he feels like it.
Yes.
So, the award for writing original screenplay, we have Belfast.
Haven't seen it.
Don't look up.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought you did see it. Don't look
No,
up.
because
Oh,
everybody just talks so much shit about it. I didn't want to waste my time.
it's a
movie.
terrible movie. King Richard.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Licorice Pizza.
I've seen it.
You're right. And The Worst Person in the World, which I have seen. I don't
I
think
have seen it.
you two have seen.
No, I didn't.
So that 99% just dropped to
That's okay.
what, like 10%?
1%.
1%.
I
1%
saw
of the category.
3 out of the 5, so I think I can safely weigh in.
All right. So the writing and original screenplay, so what I think is going to win is probably King Richard. That's my guess because I sat and watched that yesterday, and it's Will Smith. He's very unlikable, but it's I have to think of my audience, or not my audience, but the Oscars audience, and who's voting and all that stuff. So that is my that's who I think is going to win. My pick, however, is The Worst Person in the World, which is a hilarious movie, subtitled. It's kind of a rom-com. I personally really enjoyed it. It took me forever to find it. And then
Where's that one from? Is that like a Spanish film? Is
No,
that because I know
it's,
one of the best pictures is a Spanish film.
I
but-
want to say it's from like Denmark or something
Oh, okay.
like that.
Oh, you know what? I do. You're right. I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't honestly get to see it. So.
Yeah, it's good. You should definitely check it out. It's on Soap. So we do not condone stealing of movies in this show.
Yeah.
Don't
We
steal.
can't tell everybody because then all of a sudden it'll get bogged down, and then we
down.
won't be able to watch free movies.
And then my what could win, but like wild card pick would be Belfast, only because it's one of those like Jojo Rabbit type, like semi documentary type films, and it's not a really documentary, but it's almost like a live action documentary, if that makes any sense. Like not a live action documentary. What am I trying to say here?
Documentary. You're
No,
trying to say
it's not
documentary.
a documentary at all. It's like a scripted documentary, if that makes any sense. It's
No, I know
about
what
somebody's life. It's a biopic, but it's not like a documentary style.
I get it. No, I get what you're
So-
saying. For me, for original screenplay, excuse me, I do agree. I think Belfast might be the outlier that could possibly win it. I don't see it winning a lot more in most of these categories, to go a little bit ahead of myself. But I also don't think, for me, King Richard is going to win in this, only because I think when it comes down to like the biopic, true life story type stuff, I don't think original screenplay is going to be something they'll win. My pick, and I think this is going to be probably the one that is going to win, is Licorice Pizza.
I think there's too much heat on Licorice Pizza for it to win.
Why?
There's just
I know there was
It's
for a
just-
minute, but then that just
the
dissipated.
controversy it's still very prevalent. It's everywhere you read on, especially on film Twitter, that the relationship is not, okay because of the age difference and stuff. Because apparently we're judging movies by our morals of today instead of by what it was like in the 70s. So I just don't. I think people are going to want to stay away from that. However, my caveat to that is Casey Affleck, after he went through all that
Right.
legal trouble the next year, won Best Picture or Best Actor for Manchester by the Sea, which is honestly a phenomenal film. So I could be wrong, but I just think there's a lot of heat, and a lot of people, when they see that kind of stuff, they're just like they tend to steer away from it.
Yeah, but
due to
I
the
mean, if you look at
controversy.
what's being nominated and things like that, the fact that they even nominated even after all that controversy for Best Picture, for a screenplay, like all these things, I feel it has a chance, and I think it was a good movie. I think the writing is well done, and I think for this category it would win.
Okay, we'll find out tomorrow.
We will.
Or Sunday, I should say. Sunday, March 26th.
Sunday.
Is it the
Right.
26th tomorrow? Or
What's today?
That's what I'm wondering. Today is Saturday.
Phone in
Today's
hand.
the 26th. Tomorrow's
Today
the
is the
27th.
27th. Okay, so March
The
27th.
real producer would have had his phone out to tell
For
us.
real. You really.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
I didn't figure I needed to because you both are looking at your phones
Yeah,
currently.
but I'm
I have
looking
my
at
own
it.
picks
Yeah,
right
my
here.
picks right here. So
Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So the next category is writing an adapted screenplay. So what that means for you non-cinephiles out there is it's based off of a book or an already previously told story. So that means like if it's a remake or something like that, or if it's based off a book. So writing adapted screenplay is we got Coda, we got Drive My Car, we got Dune, we got The Lost Daughter, and we got The Power of the Dog. What'd you pick, Jordan? We'll go with you first.
First off, my pick, the one that I want to win, the one I hope to win, is going to be Drive My Car. I absolutely love this movie. I feel, though, because it is a foreign film, it's going to kind of get lost in the shuffle. I mean, whatever. For some of the other stuff, yes. But Parasite, I think, was a little bit more mainstream. Not a lot of people heard about this movie. Like, we loved it. We've heard about it. I mean, it's got rumblings on the internet here and there. But
I went out and
widespread,
found it.
Yeah, but widespread, no one's going to know what this movie is. I loved it. After watching Coda, though, I think Coda is going to be the one. Like, I truly, I pick Drive My Car, but I feel like Coda is going to take it. I think Power of the Dog might be the outlier. I think it's going to win in a lot of other categories. I don't know if it'll win in this one, but that'll be the outlier pick for me. But I honestly think Coda is going to win, even though I want Drive My Car.
Okay. Do you have any opinions, Scott?
I did kind of looking up some of these categories after watching some of the movies. Like I said, I have some comparison because I vaguely looked up some of the movies that I haven't seen, so it's hard to make that comparison. I know that the word is that Coda could take this category, and this is actually one of the movies I did watch. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm gonna go with that just out of base that's kind of the rumblings that I'm seeing, and comparing it to some of the other movies. I haven't seen Drive My Car.
You should. You'd love it. It's all subtitles.
3 hours.
3 hours of subtitles. Yes,
you'd love it.
It'd be your favorite.
But I think not knowing much about it. Again, I think what Jordan said is probably pretty on the money. I think some of these foreign films, because I don't think it has
it doesn't have the clout that Parasite.
Correct. That's exactly what I was looking for.
I think the Academy, the people who actually vote, do know about it. I'm not picking. I mean, that Drive My Car is my pick. It's not going to win, but it's my pick. I think Dune's going to win. I think Dune's going to sweep a lot of things. I know you both hated Dune.
I think Dune's going to win in production categories.
Me too.
I think that you're about to see a huge Dune sweep at the fucking movie at the Academy Awards.
I can tell you what I think Dune's going to win in.
Okay, well we'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, see, my thing with Dune, just to be while you're on it, is that it's a part of a book. It's not even the full book, and for what it gave you, I honestly don't think, as far as an adapted screenplay, it's not.
I don't think the Academy votes like that.
It's not a fully formed concept to me. Like, it's not complete. You put all the movies together. This is Dune. This is based off an adapted work, because it's not. It's adapted off the first 4 chapters.
But if that's
5 chapters,
that's the argument you want to have, Lord of the Rings won.
Right. Lord of the Rings, every movie was a book. It wasn't part of a book.
The Hobbit won.
The Hobbit, fuck The Hobbit. I'm not even talking about that. I don't like The Hobbit. I mean, The Hobbit was a part of a...
It won an Academy Award, and it was only a part of a book.
But doesn't mean I agree with that. I mean, I'm just saying my own personal opinion, Dune is not complete.
Okay.
Dune is just not a complete movie.
And
that's what my problem with Dune, just from beginning to end, is. It was 2.5 hours of an incomplete vision, and that's what bothered me about it.
Right, but look at it from the Academy standpoint and what they're going to be voting on. So the wild card, I think, is going to be Power of the Dog. I think Power of the Dog is going to also win in a lot of categories, but not a lot of categories that are needed. Coda could absolutely take it, but I think that Power of the Dog is like a wild card. I think whatever Power of the Dog doesn't win, Coda will win. So if we see Power of the Dog winning adapted screenplay, I think Coda takes maybe Best Picture, but we'll get to that. So the next category is visual effects, and I have Dune winning visual effects. Now we got Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man: No Way Home.
This is where Dune sweeps this category,
right? Dune.
Because Dune is a visually appealing movie. It is just not like exactly what Jordan said. It felt like it was 2.5 hours of incomplete. For me,
part of a story,
but it's definitely going to win visuals.
So Dune is who I have to win. Dune is who I think will win, and I wild card, just throwing this out here.
Free Guy,
yeah, I am not kidding. Only because of its stupid cultural impact, and everybody seemed to feel really good about that dumb film.
The weird thing is like there were so many other movies out, and for Free Guy to even make it into any of these categories after
Visual
being pushed out
effects?
for billions of years.
I laughed when I saw that, actually.
I know, it's so ridiculous. Now, Spider-Man could take it. I just they don't give a lot of love to superhero movies, regardless. It's changing. Like they gave some love to Black Panther, being a best picture nominee and all that stuff. So
They're not going to pick anything anybody loves.
right,
I'll tell you that right now.
I know, and Spider-Man.
The
has
problem is the visual effects category is everything everyone loved.
Right.
I think No Time to Die is not going to win this.
No, it's not,
it's an action movie. Visually, it looked great, but
Shang-Chi
visual
there's
effects,
no way.
Shang-Chi, honestly, like
was
there were
okay.
moments where it looked good, and there were moments where it looked super fake, and that's why I think that was just thrown on there because it was such a huge impact movie.
Yeah,
Like,
the
it made
martial
money, it
arts
was
scene
smart.
was, I think, were very good,
Right.
very fluent in there, and then you get like the bus scene where it looks a little janky,
It looked
and it looks
terrible.
like a computer program.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
and
I mean,
that
it's- yeah.
threw me out of the movie just immediately. I'm like, oh, you used the commercial footage,
Yeah.
which didn't look complete.
Dune is a visually stunning movie.
Right.
Visually stunning.
Now, I didn't pick that to win. I picked Spider-Man because I'm a doof. But you're right. I think my pick is kind of a sleeper and my pick. I think Dune will end up probably winning this.
Right. All right. Next up, we have the category for sound. So we got Belfast, Dune, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. The fact that No Time to Die got 2 nominations is crazy to me. But
Right.
I mean, it was a great movie, but I didn't think it deserved any nominations. Anyways, so what did you pick for your sound design?
Dune. I may not like the movie as a whole, but I think sound-wise, it was fantastic.
Well-
I think the score was amazing. I think the sound of that movie was amazing. Visually, it was amazing. There was a lot to like about Dune. That's why I don't rate it very low. I just personally feel like it was incomplete. I think the sound was fantastic. Now, I did watch West Side Story,
Me too.
and I don't think it sounded any different than any other fucking
You are
West-
so
Yeah,
like
well,
you,
yeah.
Jordan
Anyway.
anti West Side Story.
Oh,
he
there's
hates
I-
this movie with all of his soul.
It's not the movie, it's the why it's there. I honestly didn't see Belfast, so I can't speak to what this movie sounds like. I did watch No Time to Die and The Power of the Dog, and I just honestly think Dune is the better in the sound category.
So I actually picked West Side Story to win because it's Spielberg and it's a musical. I just don't see it not winning that category. However, you could totally be right. So I even put a little question mark by Dune.
I think
'Cause-
Dune wins this, and this is where Dune stops.
And
Yeah.
You think so?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think the wild card here would be West Side Story. So I picked. So I'm taking West Side Story, but I also think it's a wild card. So yeah. Alrighty. Now we get into some categories I don't know anything about. So if you know anything
got
about
a
it,
few.
we could probably skip them, only because I can't talk
Let's
about
just
them.
hit the heavy hitters.
Short films, live action.
Live action, no. I have one that I watched. Out of all these movies, I actually did watch one of them, and it's called Please Hold. And it was actually really fun.
What was it?
This guy gets arrested by accident by a police drone, gets put into this fully automated prison, and can't get a hold of one living person to try to plead his case. It's on HBO Max. I suggest watching it.
Sounds
It's
pretty great.
it's really good, and based off the fact that that's the only one in this category I've seen, I'm picking that to win. But it's by elimination.
Sounds
I'm
good to
doing
me.
it. But it was actually a really cool little story, and it is on HBO Max. It's in there, so please take a look at it.
So I picked The Long Goodbye because it sounds sad.
It sounds Oscar worthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about short
I'm
films.
going.
Sorry.
I'm going with C.
Well, it's
A, B, C, or D. Actually, C would be The Long Goodbye, so yeah, you're right.
Oh, there you go.
a la Kucha, Take and Run, The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, Please Hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that.
Yep, next.
Short film animated. Did anybody see anything?
I picked Audible just because it's
I
an
picked-
Audible. I have no idea anything in
That's
this category.
funny. I picked Box Ballot because it reminds me of the Oscars.
Oh,
But
you
I
did
didn't-
animated. Sorry, no,
Yeah.
I did Affairs of the Art.
Affairs
So you
of
did
the-
Box Ballet for
Box
those learning
Ballet,
how to
yeah,
pronounce
sorry.
words.
Yeah, my bad. It's very tiny and I need
No,
glasses.
Audible was my short subject documentary. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, as far as these go, I don't have a lot. I put in a lot of work, and to catch all these as well is too much for one man.
I know it's hard. I wish From now on, I need to just start watching the short films like in February after they make the announcements. Otherwise, I'm never going to get to
It's
them.
good because HBO Max does this thing where they actually placed a lot of these ones that were nominated for things into that. That's why the only reason I caught Please Hold, because it was right there next to like Nightmare Alley. I'm like, oh, that one's nominated. I'll check it out. I read the description. I was like, that sounds kind of fun. And I watched it, enjoyed myself. Perfect movie? No, but it's for what it is. It's actually really fun, so that's why I chose it. But yeah, I can't. I can't sort my life out this way.
So the next category will be production design, and we have
Oh, okay, maybe. Okay, this is where
You've got a couple
yeah.
in here that you've seen.
Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, and West Side Story.
So this is where Dune gets it, and this is where Dune stops. Dune's going to get all the production. It's going to get the sound. It's going to get all that stuff.
It's funny you say that because I'm looking at my list and I'm looking at original score and I picked Dune for that one. So I'm like, shit, maybe Dune didn't stop where I thought it stopped.
Okay, maybe I'm not thinking because I don't know much of the categories
That's
going
fine.
forward. But this,
You will.
I mean,
You will.
You know, this is what I'm trying to say is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Dune is going to get the music. Dune's
gonna
going
get a lot
to
of
get the
technical
visuals.
things.
Yes, it's going to get the production value.
So the production is I picked Dune as well. I want Dune to win, and then but my wild card is Nightmare Alley because that film is gorgeous.
Now, after seeing, I think I've seen actually every movie in this category.
Yeah, me too.
And my wild card and my choice, just because I think visually I loved it, was The Tragedy of Macbeth. I think
Fuck that movie.
it's I think for what it was, 4:3, black and white, I think it visually did a lot of good work in such a small format. I think Dune is epic and big. I think Dune will probably win this category. I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't seen Tragedy of Macbeth get any love on any.
No, and that sucks, but it's good.
It doesn't. It's
as far as what I think is going to win is Doom, but what I honestly I feel like it could win would be Nightmare Alley. After watching it, I think visually it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we'll get into more Nightmare Alley because I have some thoughts on it.
Oh,
I finally got to watch it. But
Yay. All right. So the next category will be music original song. And we got Be Alive, King Richard, Dos, I don't know how to say that,
Dos Oruguitas.
Encanto, Down to Joy, Belfast, No Time to Die, No Time to Die, Somehow You Do, 4 Good Days. I don't know what that is, so I stayed very far away from it.
I know what's going to win.
I think this is where Disney kicks the door
picked
in.
Encanto.
Every time.
Yep.
Encanto.
Yeah, I like Encanto, so I love all the songs. I listen to them daily.
Yeah, I don't know any of the other
have
categories. I've seen No Time to Die, but
Wild
I think
card
Encanto's
is
going to do it.
No Time to. My wild card is No Time to Die. 'Cause
Wasn't
it's
that Billie
Billie
Eilish?
Eilish this year time, and she thinks that she's
They did that, I think.
God's
what's her,
gift to man.
I know.
Music
I think
making.
wasn't it Adele won for a James Bond movie
Yes.
a couple years back? So I mean, the odds are it's up there. I would say between the two, probably the two. That would be the wild card, but I think what's taken this is Encanto. It's
Absolutely.
just culturally and just like one of those earworms that it gets into people's heads. Everyone loves that soundtrack from start to finish. So I think that's going to be the one that takes it.
All right, so next we got music original score, and we got Don't Look Up,
Ugh.
Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, and The Power of the Dog. And I'm not going to lie to you, I heard of Parallel Mothers 2 days ago, so I did
I've
not.
seen it.
Did you?
Yep. It's
How-
with
when? And why haven't you brought this up on the show? You're a liar.
I literally watched 1,000 movies this week.
Okay.
Literally,
Probably.
like there was no time to breathe.
Right.
At all this
I'm
week.
not kidding. I watched movies that weren't on the list, and I watched movies that were on the list. I was watching movies until 3 a.m. last night. I watched shit. So I caught Parallel Mothers because I wanted to watch pretty much everything on the list. The only one I didn't get to was Belfast, and that bums me out.
What is it?
It's hard to describe. It's a Spanish film.
Sounds
it was
terrible.
I believe it was directed by like
winning
Pedro Almodovar or
Pascal.
whatever his name is.
Just
Pedro,
gonna say
Pedro
that.
Pascal.
Do you know he's in the Mandalorian?
Oh my God.
guys, that's my favorite movie.
Dude,
What is it?
you have no idea. April has 2, maybe 3 things with him in it. You guys are going to get an earful. I'm excited.
I'll just suck
Anyway,
his dick
so
already.
it's it's not Salma Hayek. I think it's what's her name? I'll think of the actress. It's Spanish actress.
Penelope
It's
Cruz?
it might be Penelope Cruz actually. Now that I think about it.
That's the only thing I can see that come close to
There's
Salma Hayek.
there's 2 actresses that kind of I always mix up as Paz Vega and Penelope Cruz, and I think
It's
is Penelope
Penelope Cruz.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah, who's bringing that knowledge?
it's a good movie. It's not the best movie in the world. I don't think it's going to win much, but it was good.
Okay. So musical original score, I picked Encanto. Dune maybe. that's my wild card, but I also want Encanto to win. So
I think Encanto has a good shot. That's the one I think is probably going to be most popular. I think Dune, like I said, story-wise, kind of bummed me out, but as far as the visuals and the sound, it was fantastic, and I love the score on. Like the score is great. So I think Dune is my pick. Dune is one I want to win. I think Encanto might take it.
I'm kind of thinking the same way. I'm thinking Encanto might be a sleeper for a lot of this stuff. Dune is the outright
Disney
favorite.
doesn't clean up at the Oscars like they used to anymore.
No,
Only
but I
reason
think-
I'm picking it is because everyone sings.
Yeah,
the
this
Encanto
one
songs
is
right
like
now.
this one's been like super out there as far as music goes, though.
Oh, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like he
Yeah.
has like the finger on the pulse of what people want to hear.
And I think that's
And he
why
writes
it
it
might
well.
eke up there into some of these categories. I don't know if it will, because I think, like I said, I think Dune kind of takes all this, production music. I think that's where it's going.
Yeah, because they nominated for Best Picture, but they didn't nominate Denis for Best Director. So
Correct.
that's usually weird when that happens, and so that's
happens
why I think
a lot too.
It's weird though. Like you would think, like if the movie is that good, the one who directed it should get some nomination, and he got snubbed. So I think as far as all the technical stuff, Dune is going
Not according to Hollywood. We don't know how Hollywood thinks half the time.
So, all right, next category is makeup and hairstyling, which this category is kind of crazy because it's a bunch of movies you haven't heard of. Well, I mean you have, but you probably didn't watch or you passed by. Coming to America so it's Coming to America 2. Cruella,
That's a stupid movie.
Dune,
Okay.
The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci.
Cruella.
You think so?
Yeah.
I went with House of Gucci because Jared Leto looks fucking unrecognizable. It's crazy. But he doesn't look like he's wearing makeup.
Looks nothing like Morpheus.
I'm throwing that wild card.
Morbius?
No,
Cruella's going to come banging in on this category. And that's,
I don't think so. So I picked House of Gucci. My sleeper is The Eyes of Tammy Faye, even though that's a terrible fucking movie.
I watched it too.
Yeah, I like Andrew Garfield. I didn't know what he was thinking. And then, I mean, Dune could clearly take this. I don't think
for
it
makeup?
I don't think
Eh.
makeup and hairstyling. That
Yeah.
movie,
What?
like
the
cost,
fucking
no, see, cost,
Baron when he's like going
okay,
up
so,
and all crazy.
Yeah, we got oiled up fat guy. Big deal. Great. Dip him in some oil.
He wasn't really fat though.
I know. I'm kidding.
Oh.
But that is, I could see costume design maybe for Dune.
Yeah.
But for me, makeup and hairstyling, I also said House of Gucci. I think that movie, although I didn't like it that much, I think the production design around it looked really good. I don't like fucking Lady Gaga. But
About
they
when she was getting banged.
Ugh, ugh. Anyway, I do think Eyes of Tammy Faye has a chance just because Jessica Chastain
Yeah.
was almost unrecognizable.
Unrecognizable, yeah.
So that's good. I would think Cruella might be the outlier. But House of Gucci is my pick.
Alrighty. Next, we got international feature film. We got Drive My Car, Flee, The Hand of God, Luana, Yak in the Classroom, and The Worst Person in the World. Now, I have not seen The Hand of God or Luana. I did watch Flee because it was on HBO Max.
Which one's that one?
I don't know anything about it.
It's the Flea documentary.
It's
about
just like
Red Hot
about
Chili
a
Peppers.
guy who's like trying to find his way in the world. I was kind of put it on in the background.
Make my way downtown.
It's animated, so
Is it?
yeah.
Weird.
He grapples a painful secret he's kept for 20 years. I don't remember anything about this movie.
I'm going with
I
your
didn't
movie
watch
on
it.
this one.
Drive My
I was
Car.
going to drive my car.
So it should be, I agree, but the worst person in the world, I'm telling you right now, is just as good. So it could eat. So my pick, Drive My Car, what I think will win, Drive My Car. What could easily take it? The worst person in the world. However, this Flea movie getting a lot of run. So I don't know. I don't know. This one's going to be interesting for me.
Yeah, I picked Drive My Car. I don't have any. I didn't get to see The Worst Person in the World, so I have no other
should watch it
choice
tonight.
for this. So Drive My Car, honestly, I loved so much, and the problem is because it's an international film feature category, I don't think it has any chance in the best film category, and so that's why I think it's going to get some love here, and that's it.
I kind of agree. I think that they were like, "Oh shit, we picked Parasite that one time, and
We
then- and now we got to. We'll just
we need an
stick
Asian
to-
contingent in the best picture.
Yeah, we just we'll stick to.
We got the deaf kids. We got the Irish. We need the Chinese.
So-
Just kidding. The Japanese. Shut up. Who cares?
So the next category is film editing, and we have Don't Look Up, Dune, King Richard,
say
The
that.
Power of the Dog, and Tick Tick Boom. So I went with Tick Tick Boom because that movie is awesome. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the musical with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Also, Lin-Manuel Miranda written. So it's
Correct.
like he's like in it everywhere.
Do you know he was in the actual stage play?
Yeah.
Okay. Dune, though.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go again.
Film editing. Dune. I mean,
Dune's going to be the worst movie to win so many awards.
and I agree with
it's
you.
a great movie, though.
It's
Define
again,
great.
it's visually stunning movie.
With a
But
great story.
it was so fucking boring.
No, it
man.
wasn't.
It was so
Do
boring.
not listen to Scott or
Or the
Jordan.
other host of the show
Yeah.
who agrees with
Two,
Scott.
Jordan.
2/3 out of the table.
They are wrong about Dune.
It is a dragging
fucking
movie.
tastic.
It's a visually stunning.
Like
gore-
Drive
gore
My
fest.
Car, honestly, I didn't feel like there are moments, but it's a 3-hour movie. It's longer than Dune, and I felt like Dune was longer. Like that's just how Dune feels to me. It just feels like it's
Dune is good. Jordan and Scott are dumb.
like
Watch
I love
Dune.
Well, this is okay. This is why Dune's going to win a
Love
lot of these
Aaron.
visual categories. Dear Jordan, you're an idiot. This is why I
You're
think
my
Dune's going to
idiot.
win in a lot of these visual categories because the reason why it felt long to me and the reason why I feel like it dragged because he focuses so much on vistas. Like he'll stop
Oh, it's
and do a
epic.
shot and it's big and it's
big.
wide
It's huge.
and it
Yeah.
shows the scope of it. And it's a movie, honestly, I feel people should have seen on the big screen because it just doesn't
Which you
feel the
didn't
same
do.
in TV. I did.
Yeah, we all went.
No, you guys
you
went.
didn't.
I,
Oh,
I ended
that's
up.
right.
I ended up checking it out.
Yeah, no, he
later.
did go after that. Remember?
No, I thought he said he watched it on TV.
No,
No. Yeah, I think it went to the theater.
Yeah,
Okay.
I ended up going.
We did.
Um,
Remember? And I was right next to you. I was like,
Yeah, you were falling asleep.
And
'cause you sucked.
that's why Scott didn't think it was long. He fell asleep halfway through.
oh, it was long.
But I
was
think
good, though.
I think visually it's a great movie. I just story wise fell short for me because I'm going to harp on this for a second. I've read the source material. I know what it should have been, and to stop it where it was.
I read the book.
Yes, I read it. Factual pages.
Put lipstick on a pig, and at the end of the
Anyway.
day, it's still a pig.
Anyways, all right. So going on to next documentary short subject. All right, we have Audible, Lead Me Home, The Queen of Basketball, 3 songs for Benazir, and When We Were Bullies.
It's gonna be the basketball movie.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so I picked When We Were
You
Bullies.
said Queen and basketball. You know, it's
Yeah,
a feel-good
it's
girl
there.
playing
That's-
basketball movie.
Yeah,
That's
so-
sweeping that category.
Sweeping the cat. It's just the one thing. I picked When We Were Bullies because I thought it was a funny title.
I picked Audible because it's my Audible. So we all have 3 different picks. This should be interesting.
This should be fun. We should all bet on this one. All right. Next one is documentary feature. So we have Ascension, Attica, Flea. This is why I think Flea is a sleeper because it has multiple categories and no one's ever heard of it. Summer of Soul and Writing with Fire. I picked Summer of Soul. I think you did too.
I did.
Yeah. Did you?
I'm just gonna go with that one.
Yeah.
Love
just
that movie.
based on the movies.
Yeah. You can only find it on DVD. I had to watch it
No,
streaming.
I believe it's on Disney Plus.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't think it got a lot of physical media yet.
Right.
So, but
Oh.
yes, Disney Plus, Summer Soul. I think it's written, produced, or filmed by Questlove,
Questlove.
and
yeah.
it's a fantastic documentary. I think what should have been also in this that was a sleeper that I eventually caught, and I honestly I think maybe it's not in here because maybe it came out the year before, and I don't know. Is the Sparks Brothers, but
That was the year before.
was it? Okay, I wasn't sure because I
was
saw both of them.
nominated.
I watched both, and that's why I don't know. Last year's Oscars were such a I don't remember seeing anything from them. Like I just because it was like a COVID year and like they just threw random shit in. Like I just didn't care. This year I'm more invested and I wasn't sure. So Sparks Brothers was great, but Summer Soul I think is my pick.
Yeah. We all picked that.
And the white guilt version of Hollywood is actually probably going to pick this as well
Of course.
because it's a black produced, black owned.
But they could pick Flea.
60s soul. Yeah, it's just, well, they may, but I think it's a Summer Soul.
I agree. All right. So directing. This should be fun. We got Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. We got
Oh, please
Right.
pronounce this. Oh, here we go.
Ryusuke Hamaguchi
Oh
for
my God,
Drive
that was-
My Car.
That was pretty spot on.
Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza. Jane Champion for The Power of the Dog. Or Campion.
Campion.
I've heard it pronounced both ways. And Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. Go ahead.
Probably can't. I would say probably Power of the Dog.
Oh, yeah.
So,
pulls this category.
I'm picking Drive My Car to win. I think Drive My Car is also wild card. However, I think Licorice Pizza or Power of the Dog could take it because Paul Thomas Anderson always kills at the Oscars. I just once again,
This is going to be that Power of the Dog moment, and everybody's going to be like, "Oh, here it goes!" And then this is going to be the last award they win.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of craziness around this whole Power of the Dog shit where it's like someone comes out and rips it apart, and then she comes out and wins an award for something, and then compares her hardships against Serena Williams, saying, "Well, I had to compete against men."
Is that Kristen Dunst?
No, it was Jane Campion. She came out.
Okay.
I think she won like a BAFTA or she won like a Golden Globe, and then looked out to like see Serena and Venus Williams and goes, "Your guys are great. Your story was awesome, but you haven't had to compete against men." And I'm just like, you fucking you daft moron.
Uh-oh.
So like that was a big hullabaloo for that. But I honestly, after watching Power of the Dog, I think she's gonna win this as far as directing goes. My reasons for Spielberg not wanting him to win are.
Right.
I
fucking hate
I
Spielberg
just-
and recreated
no.
a movie that I don't really care about.
No, my issues is that I don't feel like you should win for directing a movie that exists.
That's already been out.
And
I
it's
100% agree.
You made the same movie. The songs are the same. The shots in some cases
I didn't-
were almost the same. I went and
But
actually.
it's more urban.
I didn't
It's
find
not even
it,
that. Like,
I
it's
didn't
the same
find
movie.
it
It's
to
just-
be special in any way.
No, and that's the thing. Like it's just it shouldn't be here.
That was my argument. You take a good movie and you remake it into a good movie.
Right.
You shouldn't even be I was having this conversation with Aaron. Take a shitty movie. Take a movie that bombed at the box office. Redo. I don't know. Dude, the first thing I'm like going off of, it's like I could think of is like Cable Guy. Do Cable Guy to a masterpiece.
Hold on.
Why
Cable
are
Guy
you saying
bombed.
that's a shitty movie?
No, Cable
No,
Guy
no, no.
bombed at the fucking box office.
Doesn't mean it's a bad
No,
movie.
it's
No,
not
no,
a
but
bad
I'm
movie.
just saying is you
need
take
to pick
a
something
movie-
else right now.
I'm telling you, it's the first thing that came to my head. I was thinking of a
Little
movie.
Giants.
I was trying to think of a
What?
movie that bombed at the box office that was like had this huge
But
behind.
Cable Guy has
bombed.
a huge following.
But it does
I
now.
I understand what you're saying. It's not a bad movie in the sense of the content.
You're taking
It
me
was just
literally
bad.
when it was the first movie that popped into my head. I
Listen
was just
to me
saying,
right now.
take
Do not
a bad
touch
movie,
Cable Guy.
take a bad movie and remake it and make it better,
See,
and then
don't-
I'll tell you.
Say bad movie as far as content or bad movie as far as popularity at the time of release.
Right, because
Yeah.
you just took
that
another
is
good movie.
that is a weird way
Yeah.
to describe
Again,
Cable. I mean,
probably
no, I know
was
it's
not the
first.
best example,
That's
but
fine.
it was the first thing that popped into
Like,
my
say,
head when
10
I thought of
years-
a movie failure.
10 years remake Dune. I mean,
Fuck up.
but it's part of why I think Dune.
I'm sorry, I fucking triggered everybody at the fucking table.
Cable Guy's
Jesus
classic.
Christ, I'm sorry.
I get what you're saying, but see, in my case, Spielberg has this thing where he likes to complain about things because I think something was up. I think it was a black and white movie that came to Netflix and only went to Netflix, and it ended up winning categories and being nominated and stuff like that. And he was all up in arms about it. And
Roma? I
yes,
don't think so.
Oh, he complained about Roma because it never went wide release, it never went to theaters, and he threw a fit to where they rewrote the rules where you had to have officially certain amount of release days in a theater to be considered.
I'm okay with that.
Fuck him.
He's
Um,
one of the fucking godfathers of directing,
He made
bro.
AI. He fucking.
He
No,
also
no.
made Jaws.
Yeah, so okay, great. He's made some good movies. He's made some shit movies. Doesn't mean
He's
can
one of the
sit there and
greatest
complain
directors
about
of all
somebody
time.
else's work to
Yes, he
where
can.
you can't do the work.
He can, though. He has that ability. It'd be like your boss is like, hey, man, your work sucks.
That's great. He's not the boss of anybody.
Here's
is
where
the
I
bo- he's a
here's
boss.
where I think it comes into a generational thing too, because you can say the same thing with music, because people will say like, oh,
We're not talking about music. This is
like
not the music
so and
podcast.
so is the greatest guitar player ever. I'm like, well, he was maybe in the 60s, or maybe this person was for the time where they were out, but they are not a good guitar player against today's standards. So I get what he's saying as far as like Spielberg was good in his time. Come out with a movie fucking now.
He has.
A good movie.
He has.
What?
Which one?
Hold on.
No, there's no holding on. West Side Story was not good. Ready Player One was not good. Like and then he puts his weight behind a lot of projects, and he's got his name attached to things like Transformers and,
Right.
and all these things.
He's
and that's
in,
fine.
His hands are in the cookie
You know,
jar.
he made The Terminal, not great. Like there are movies that he's
Terminal
made
is
that are
so
not
fun.
good. Like I get he has an opinion, but you know, you complained about Roma and why it got released a certain way, and then the fact that it got nominated for all this stuff, and then you remade West Side Story, and now no one's saying shit to you. Like, that is my problem. Say I came out today and did a shot-for-shot remake of Jaws and won a bunch of awards. You don't think he's going to have a fucking problem with that? That's his baby. That's his thing. No,
you have to
there-
get permission for that.
fuck that. I'm just saying, like,
You're comparing two different things.
No, I'm not. I'm comparing the fact that he can complain about all this shit, but I guarantee you if the tables were reversed, he would be up in arms about it. So my thing is that he shouldn't be nominated for Best Director for directing a movie that existed.
You have to get permission. It's not like he made West Side Story.
I don't care.
Okay, but your argument is fundamentally
no,
wrong.
My argument is that he remade something that exists. It's the same reason last year or the year before when it was A Star Is Born. That movie shouldn't have been nominated for shit. That has been remade 4 times.
You can talk about actors and actresses. When it comes to remakes,
put their acting in there. That's great.
The acting is fine. I think, again, like, I understand what you're saying because I feel the same way. I think if you remake a movie that was already done,
right,
you're kind of fucking cheaping it out.
Now, if he had said, okay, instead of setting it in the 1940s and 30s and all this stuff like the other one was because of the time, do it now. Do it in today's world. There's plenty of the same fucking shit that happened in this movie that happens now that you could have done and made that movie more contemporary and still been done. Go ahead, name a movie, and I'll probably shoot it down.
The Post,
which was no one saw that movie.
Okay, I did, and that was very good.
Oh. So these are Aaron's picks.
Lincoln
was good, but it was boring.
Oh, you're just shitting on things now. Lincoln literally won Academy Awards.
It was
a
boring.
Fucking great movie.
It was an original movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was.
It was an original movie.
It was. I did watch Lincoln.
I didn't see the original Lincoln because it didn't exist.
It was boring as shit.
It was long.
I mean, great fucking movie in production and acting.
Oh, that movie's...
That movie's good.
That was okay. I mean, that was not...
No, let's shit on Steven Spielberg.
No, I'm just saying, like, he's not
Spielberg.
making the...
Clearly.
No, I'm just saying, like, they're good. They're not great. Like, I love...
Lincoln is a good movie.
It was boring.
Oh, you think it's boring. It's a fantastic movie. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Again, this comes down to my opinion is my opinion. His opinion is his. Yours is yours. If
my
you like Lincoln, I'm
and
glad you like
But
Lincoln.
Lincoln is a good movie. It's
I think
considered a
Lincoln-
good movie.
I think
Just because
Lincoln-
you think it's bad.
See, you say good. You didn't say great. Say, I'm saying I liked it. I thought it was boring. That's my opinion. I didn't say it was a bad
but
movie.
you're
I'm just saying
arguing
it's boring.
something completely different. You're
I'm
saying,
saying
make a
he-
good movie in this time.
I'm
Lincoln
s-
is considered a good movie.
He said make a good movie in this time. I'm saying
Yes.
he shouldn't be nominated for a remake. It's two different arguments. Look at him when you bitch about it.
I'm looking at both of you. You both want to cry about Steven Spielberg, one of the
No,
greatest
I'm
directors of all time.
I have a whole take on Oscars and Academy Awards and all that stuff.
I know
Anyways,
you
because
do,
I think
because
it's
you're
such a
conservative and
it's
you're
such
like,
a small group of
it's a
fucking people that are
jerk-off session.
dictating
Oh, sure.
what is a good movie.
Every time Spielberg gets put
No.
up and it makes a movie, I guarantee you they
What
always
makes-
have to consider
So here's
him.
here's
No, that's
here's
not
my
true,
thing.
because I
what
disagree
makes what makes their
fundamentally with the
opinion different than his
Oscars.
opinion? Because they live in Hollywood, or they
Because they make they're filmmakers.
that doesn't mean they're fucking good.
Okay.
You
His
didn't see
opinion
my
is
video
just
of
as
Wesley
valid.
riding a scooter. It was
Your
fucking
opinion
classic.
is your opinion is just as valid as their opinion.
No, it isn't.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's almost like sports and music when you have all these like bottlenecked people that are voting for these fucking movies, and they I think there's a lot of like, oh, my buddy directed this movie, it's going to get nominated. Oh, our friends, we know these people. These are the movies that you
not
guys
how it
should
works.
see.
Okay, so
And
here's
it's not
my
always
thing.
terrible.
Your argument is that because they make movies, their opinion matters about what the movies are. So then why are we even doing this show?
Oh, because
I'm just saying.
Fun.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like our opinions.
Are you
matter.
quitting too?
No, I quit.
Yeah, go for it. There's a door right
All
there.
I'm saying is that
Please don't let it hit you on the
everyone's
way out.
opinions matter. Maybe as far as awards go and kissing Hollywood's ass, yes, their opinion has more weight. I just, for me personally, don't feel that this is fair that he is in a category for remaking a movie. I don't think Best Picture is a movie we've seen. I don't like those kinds of in Hollywood bullshit.
That's fine. My argument, the only thing I'm arguing with you about is the fact that he's allowed to have his opinion matters when it comes to those things. That's it.
Right, that's fine. Let it matter. But then when it happens to you, don't bitch and moan. Like, I guarantee you, if someone came out and said, well, I don't think that, we should be doing remakes in the category, he's going to argue against that, and it's going to
You don't
keep
know
going.
that. He could be like, all right.
Why? You didn't see him saying, well, no, I should bow. He didn't pull a Dolly Parton and say, you know what, I don't belong here. I'm going to take my name out of the running. No, he's going to take that award if it's given to
So
him.
Steven Spielberg's kind of like the LeBron James of movies.
Can we move on? All right.
All right,
Hey, moving on.
Directing. So
Steven Spielberg, I tell you that
I
much.
picked Drive My Car to win directing. I know it's not going to. I agree that it's going to be James Campion, The Power of the Dog, because I believe that in this, we'll get into this when we get into Best Picture.
James?
Jane Campion.
James Champion.
I think if she doesn't win directing, then she's going to win Best Picture. And I think we'll get to that when we get to Best Picture, though.
Yep.
So, all right. I'm actually going to go down to costume design. And we have Cruella.
Can we just
Cyrano.
Give it to Cruella.
Dune.
Yep.
Nightmare Alley. And West Side Story.
It's going to be Dune. I mean,
You think Dune's
this
just going to
is
come
where
in and
Dune
sweep?
sweeps that whole. It's
You've
just going to sweep
you've
all
said that
this
about
stuff.
everything. So Dune is just getting every other
Dune
thing.
will get all. I'm telling you again. Dune will get all the production and the music.
So I did
It's-
pick Dune.
Yeah,
Just so
it's
you know.
going to get all
I
that
did
stuff.
not.
That's where Dune ends as a movie.
However, what I think is going to win is Nightmare Alley.
Oh, I think you're wrong there too.
Okay.
And
You
not
think
because
Cyrano's gonna win?
No, I don't think Cyrano's even.
You think
considered.
West Side
Fuck it.
Story?
I think Corella's gonna get it.
Nah.
No, that
No one
movie,
cares
no one
about
liked
that
it.
bad
No,
movie.
that the fact that they nominated it, there is so much costume design in this movie and
Yeah.
so much
I can see that.
craziness involved with this movie. I think visually, as far as costumes go, it's a very beautiful little set piece. I think it's going to win. Now, I don't think Dune is going to win. But some of the costumes were really great, and then you get to a lot of that movie where it's just the still suit stuff, so it's just very bland, drab, not very good stuff. I think I did like the costuming in West Side Story, and with Nightmare Alley, kind of like in tandem, it's kind of the same era, like late 30s, early 30s, and the 40s and stuff like that. So the costuming looked great in that. Very,
love
very
Nightmare
period,
Alley's
very
costume.
beautiful. Oh, it's
So-
great. It's beautiful.
Especially with like Ron Perlman and stuff like that. I think that's why it's the question mark. I have the question mark right because it could win, and then it could. I think it's gonna be a wild card. I think if it wins, it's gonna It's gonna win. for that.
Question.
Yeah, that would be my. I think that's where it's gonna go. Like my outlier / could happen, but I pick Gorilla, and that's the only thing I would ever pick it for.
Who put the question mark on Aaron's phone? You know he'll read everything.
Goddamn Riddler.
cinematography?
I know.
We have Dune, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, Tragedy of
Where-
Macbeth, and
didn't we
West
already do
Side
that?
Story. No.
Cinematography. I
Right.
think this is where Power of the Dog takes that category.
Yeah.
swear we already said this.
No, we didn't.
Because I picked
Visual effects,
Oh, you know what? We picked production design.
production
That's what
design.
we're talking about. Sorry.
It's okay. Cinematography, I want Dune. Dune, I just think that, but my what I think is going to win is Power of the Dog, and my wild card pick would be Tragedy of Macbeth. So because
That's my wild card as
it's
well.
that stupid goth looking.
It's just yeah. It's weird because there are moments of that looked visually great, but after watching the rest of these, as much as I hate to pick it, I think the cinematography in West Side Story is really good. So I think that's going to win.
Really,
I think Dune would be probably the one that could possibly win. So I pick West Side Story. I think Dune might.
I
end
don't
up
think
winning.
West Side Story is going to win anything.
You and me both. Lockstep. Let's do this. I think you're right. The cinematography was pretty damn good in that movie.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate to say it, and to me, this is why I think that movie is as good as it is it's not for Spielberg's direction. I think it's the group he has that makes his movies, because his cinematographer on this movie, he's done every Spielberg movie since. Like the way Saving Private Ryan looked, that's his.
There's
him.
a scene in West Side Story where like Ansel Elgort or whatever the hell his name is,
Anal
like
Elgort.
steps
Anal
into a
Dumbledore.
puddle or something, and his
Anal
face
Dumbledore.
is in it. I don't know, man, but it looked crazy awesome.
Right.
There's also like a bunch of dancing scenes where they do these crane shots that are just pretty incredible.
It feels very like it should be on a soundstage when they didn't film it on a soundstage.
But-
so there are moments where it looked good.
I thought there was a lot of soundstage stuff, like when they're dancing in the street and
Yeah.
stuff, and you're kind of looking in the back, you can tell it's all green screen sky.
Right.
And I'm like, all right.
But
it-
so that's movies nowadays. Like everything, like this is my complaint. I'm not going to go into it too much with this new Halo show. The first episode, there's a scene where Master Chief throws down his gun, and instead of throwing down a prop gun, they animated the gun, and it looks so incredibly fake. I'm like, this is where you put your budget. Like this is where you put your
$10 million
your animation
an
budget.
episode.
Like think about what you do. And this is just how Hollywood is working now.
Sitting at the table with Spielberg, and he's like, "Did you see that? Did you see that animated gun that I did?"
I could
He's
do
like,
it better
"Yeah,
on
that's-
West Side Story. But see what I mean? Like, it's just it's stupid choices like that, and it's gonna happen everywhere. I think cinematography with Tragedy of Macbeth, there are shots in that movie that are really cool. Like when I was telling you guys with the Weird Sisters, where it's the old woman at first, and then it pans down to the water, and then there's three of them, and there's only one of her talking, and then it splits off into three. I think moments like that were really good. You're right. I don't. As much as I want it to win stuff because I enjoyed it, it's not getting any run. It's just not. I think it's in there just to be in there. It's Denzel.
I agree. All right, next movie, we're going animated feature film. We have Encanto, Flea,
Yeah,
Luca,
done.
The Mitchells versus the Machines, and Reign of the Last Dragon. I picked Mitchell's versus the Machines to win.
Wow.
That's what I want to win. However, my
It's
wild
Encanto.
card pick is Encanto.
There's so many in this category.
But I also think Flea could take it because, once again, everyone's jerking themselves off about it.
I never watched Flea. I've watched everything else. I thought Luca was cute. I think that came at the right time, just going straight to digital during the pandemic.
It's
so
a
everyone,
gay allegory.
Who cares?
Even though they didn't say it was. Even though the director literally came out and said it's not. It's just about friends.
I think it was a good little movie. I think the rewatchability in that one is just like, Encanto is everybody's just love child right now.
That just doesn't
And
mean anything anymore, though. That means it's not going to win anything.
is it Pixar or was it Disney animated?
Disney animated.
Okay, so that's Raya. I loved. I loved that more than I thought I would. It's weird. Disney doesn't market their shit anymore. Like there's almost like, hey, here's this
need
movie.
to.
They know you're going to see it. It's
Yeah.
animated.
Yeah,
And
and
they're like,
you're going to.
Aquafina's in it. Aquafina's in it. You better
They're like,
watch it right now.
we're going to release this movie, and your kids are going to just drive
Right.
you nuts, and you will see it.
But my pick is honestly the Mitchells versus Machine. I think story was great. I think the acting in it was awesome. I think it was a fun movie, and it's the same with that. What was that? Ron's Gone Wrong movie that you put me onto. It's kind of like that, where it's like just came out of nowhere. I feel like it was marketed for a ton of time, and then COVID happened, and then it just said, okay, fine, we're just gonna throw it on streaming. And I'm glad they did. I honestly, I don't know if I ever would have gone to see it in the theater. And this is a great movie. So for me, the pick is Mitchells versus Machines. I think the real winner is probably going to be Encanto, just because it's so top of mind.
Or
and so
Flea.
popular. I don't think Flea's going to get it, honestly.
Oh, we'll find out tomorrow. Or whenever you listen to this a few days ago. All right. So we got now we're getting into the big ones. So these are the big boys. We got actress in a supporting role. We have Jessie Buckley in The Lost Daughter, which I did watch. Don't remember anything about it, so it's like I didn't even watch it. Ariana DeBose? DeBois? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Ariana DeBois. West Side Story. She's the darker Mexican girl, I think.
Puerto Rican, you racist.
Oh, sorry.
She's part of Dominican, whatever she says.
Right. Oh, so you've seen it?
Just the one part that
Okay.
I had to put in the trailer.
Wait, you put in what trailer?
Where she's like, I'm part of the
Wait,
Dominican.
but you put in the trailer?
Yeah, we talked about it once on a show,
We did, actually.
and I had to put the trailer
When you
in.
saw it, when it was coming out.
When it came out in theaters, and you were like, or it was coming to theaters, and you were talking about it, and I put the trailer in, because back when you used to make me put trailers for everything.
when he was producing.
When I was
Nah,
actually
fuck it.
producing last time.
Well, I would appreciate if you put all the trailers in for
Oh my
best
Just
movie.
after every time we talk about a movie.
Everyone
Just the best movie.
Dude.
7-hour movie.
All right.
7 hours long.
So we got Judi
Dang,
Dench
Judi
in
Dench.
Belfast, Kirsten Dunst in The Power of the Dog. I can't pronounce this.
Anjanae Ellis.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. King Richard. So, what did you pick? What did you pick?
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think she was great in this movie. She really sold, just everything she was doing. Like, I felt almost bad for her throughout this entire movie. She's getting shit on this entire movie, and finally things happen toward the end of the movie, and then she gets off alcohol, and she's a happy person again. Like, she really made that, like, she made me feel something about that character, and I think she did a great job, honestly.
Yeah, and I know she's been campaigning like crazy for it. I also picked Kirsten Dunst. It's who I want to win.
Uh-huh.
My wild card, however, is Anna June.
Mama June.
Ellis.
Mama June Ellis.
So King Richard, because I just don't see that movie not winning something. It's just the climate right now.
I think it's nominated because of who it's about,
right.
and I just don't see it grabbing too many.
Has it
Did you
been
watch
winning
it?
anything from anything?
I've seen a lot of like trailers and stuff, but I've not.
I will
sat down
say
and
this
watched
about
it.
it.
Not a terrible.
It's not a bad movie. It's really not. I wanted to hate it.
I knew it would probably be a decent
Will
movie.
Smith is super unlikable in it, like to the point where you're rooting active. I was actively rooting against him.
I think that's the point,
Like
though.
I was standing up like,
Because
shut
he
your,
was a dick.
Shut your damn mouth. And I felt it hard to be any sympathetic towards anyone because they're like, it doesn't go the way you think it is. Like, you watch the trailer as many times as you want. The first hour of that movie is a completely different movie than the second hour.
Well,
So-
the trailer made it seem like oh, it's the feel good story of the year where these girls are going to grow up to be these superstars that you know and love now, and it's like, no. If you really think about it, he's probably one of these overbearing sports dads, or
he was,
these
was the Jackson's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's exactly what. I mean, if you know the story,
It would
he
be
was,
if they made a movie about like the Lonzo Ball family, like all those people,
yeah.
and like what's this LeVar or whatever is like.
Yeah.
You make a movie about that guy, you're gonna be like, that guy's an asshole, because guess what? That guy's an asshole.
And I get that it worked out, and I understand all that. I'm just saying, like, at no point was I like, that is the correct decision to make. You know what I mean? Like,
you did great.
Yeah, you were a great
Father of the Year.
Oh.
No, I also watched that movie back when they first but this is last year when they were releasing all the theater stuff on HBO Max. So I knew I had like a 2-week window to catch it. So I ended up watching it. I know you didn't watch it, so I didn't want to bring it up, and we didn't talk about it too much. I again, and I said this to you yesterday in a text, where it feels like it's just at this point, Will Smith is always Will Smith, just
Exactly.
with a different
Doing an
haircut
accent or a haircut.
It's just Will Smith, and it's the same argument you had with Ryan Reynolds doing any Ryan Reynolds movies. It's just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds.
He's Ace Ventura, but as a normal guy.
So to me, like, so it's so hard for me to move past these things with Will Smith in it, because it's just Will Smith. It's also the same when I watch Tom Hanks at this point, because it's just Tom Hanks. You're always
agree.
Tom Hanks.
I agree.
I think in the trailer for this Elvis Presley movie, he's trying not to be Tom Hanks,
But he's Tom Hanks.
But
Right.
you still hear Tom Hanks
fat
with
Tom
a weird.
Hanks.
all I hear is Woody.
It's
That's
Tom
what I hear
Hanks,
because
exactly.
we've seen Toy Story so many times. Every time I hear Tom Hanks now, I'm just like,
Well,
it's Woody.
And it's hard because like when you make a movie like about a person, you have a preconceived notion of what that person already sounds like, already looks like, already feels like. Again, this Elvis movie, the kid playing Elvis, I both feel like doesn't do it, but also kind of does. And I don't know how much that is ADR with someone sounding like Elvis to make it sound that way. When Tom Hanks was Walt Disney in what was that movie? Saving Mr. Banks. That was Tom Hanks in a fucking pencil mustache. Like, that was not Walt Disney, and it's because I've heard Walt Disney speak. I've seen Walt Disney.
Screaming those anti-Semitic things.
He kept
I was
yelling
like,
about the Jews.
Yeah.
It was weird. But you know what I mean? Like, so it's so hard to see Will Smith be their dad when I know what he looks like. I know what he's supposed to kind of sound like, and it's just Will Smith.
So, anyways, Anna
their dad.
June's going to win this.
Mama June.
Mama June. Honey Boo Boos.
No, I honestly think it's going to be Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, I hope it is. All right. Actress in a leading role. We got Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz in Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman being the Ricardos, and Kirsten Stewart Spencer. I picked Kirsten Stewart and Spencer because that's a fucking phenomenal film. I can't believe it's not getting anything else.
This is the only
Especially
category that entire movie is
visuals
putting
and
in.
stuff like that. It's just weird to me. But my wild card for that is going to be Nicole Kidman.
I was just about to say that would be, if I knew nothing about that whole category, I would just pick Nicole Kidman.
Why?
Just for the politics.
Did you
part
watch
of
it?
It was a terrible movie.
I disagree. I thought it was pretty good. I thought
I thought it was dumb.
I thought it was what's his face was excellent in it. J.K.
Javier Bardem.
Simmons.
Oh, J.K. Simmons was fine as Fred Mertz. Was he that character?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Javier Bardem is a terrible choice
I
for
didn't
Ricky
think it-
Ricardo.
I didn't think it was a terrible movie. Like I understand.
like it.
So it was based on an actual book about when she was fighting the communism thing.
Yeah.
I find all that stuff interesting about that time in Hollywood.
I love Lucy, and I think that's where it comes down to where I don't think Nicole Kidman fit that role as Lucille Ball to me. Just
She was
because I
such
have
a
so
bitch.
much.
I thought that's exactly how she came off.
Well, that's how she was. I just
Right.
don't see her playing, Lucille Ball. Like, again, it
Why?
comes
'Cause
down
she's from
to
Australia,
I've seen
you
every.
racist?
Yes, I hate Australians. Fuck you, down under. I don't see the download numbers coming from you. Once maybe.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Hugh Jackman, you dick.
Go sing another Oklahoma musical.
Yeah, or
But-
Australia.
It's a lovely accent you have.
I hate Australia. That movie
Australia?
was boring as shit. But I did not like that movie. I didn't like really her in this movie. So I also picked Kirsten Stewart. I think the outlier that has a small chance, I would believe, is Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, that too.
But everybody else, Olivia Colman has a lot of, I think, clout in Hollywood now. She's won some stuff.
Fuck Olivia Colman.
I don't
know.
I've never
I like
seen the
her
movie.
very much.
It's on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out. But yeah, I think Kirsten Stewart is my pick. I think that's a long shot, though. I think Jessica Chastain is also kind of one of those ones that may win.
Olivia Colman's like in everything that wins. Like she was in The Father that won last year, or
Right.
no, 2 years ago, or whatever.
British
it was.
actress,
Yeah.
bad teeth, that whole thing.
All right, so actor in supporting role, we have.
Kirsten Dunst. No,
We have. Hold on a second.
Kieran Hines.
Is that how you say
Yep.
it? Kieran Hines in Belfast. Troy Kotsur in Coda. Jesse Plemons in The Power of the Dog. J.K. Simmons in Being the Ricardos. And Cody Smith-McPhee, The Power of the Dog. So the fact that 2 Power of the Dog people are in here probably means that one of them is going to win.
Nope.
I picked Jesse Plemons. What?
I think Kotzer's going to win this category.
I'm with
Think
Scott.
so?
This is going to be 2022 Children of a Lesser God,
Okay.
and
Which is weird because the mom in
Yes.
that was in Children of a
it
Lesser
was
God.
Marley Matlin who won an Oscar for acting in that movie.
Well, we'll see.
So I think he takes this one
Okay.
I agree with Scott.
We'll get to Coda later.
because
I have a lot to say
especially
about
with
it.
the whole getting around it with the deaf, the deaf aspect of it, and him being a deaf actor. I think he comes in and bangs this one.
I
Yeah.
think he got the category. I think he got the nomination because they felt bad, but I don't think he's.
Well, he never
I thought
heard
he was
it.
actually good.
He read it probably.
I think Troy's got it. That's my pick. I think the actuality of it is it might be Cody Smith-McPhee. I don't see Jesse Plemons and Kirsten Dunst taking it. That would be weird that
That would
a
be
real married couple
I just-
takes 2 Oscars in one night. That would be
I
kind of
agree
odd.
with you 100%. I'm picking who I want at this point.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And I
And-
think Cody Smith-McPhee did a great job in this movie.
Yeah,
like he
He's
was
a little shit.
he was a little shit.
Gaslight.
Fucking asshole.
Bitch.
Kieran Hines, I know him from a lot of things. He was the actor that played Steppenwolf in that really bad Justice League movie. You wouldn't know because they made his face up all queasy, but he's the voice. Good Irish actor, but I just don't think he's going to get anything for this.
Okay, so before the Best Picture, we have one last category, and that is actor in a leading role, and that is Javier Bardem, which is clearly Jordan's pick after that.
I like him as an actor. I just
Benedict-
didn't think he did well as
Benedict
Ricky Ricardo.
Cumberbatch in Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield in Tick, Tick, Boom, Will Smith in King Richard, and Denzel Washington in The Tragedy of Macbeth. I picked Andrew Garfield to win this. I think he's finally going to get recognized. I think this is it for him. I honestly think he's going to take this. And besides, Tick, Tick, Boom was fucking awesome.
It is. Had these other movies not been a part of this category, maybe he would have won.
He's
this.
going to win this. Do you want to bet like
It's
personally?
going to be Bumberstute Snickerbox.
I'm throwing money down here. This is the Will Smith win.
No.
wanna bet?
I have this feeling it shouldn't be. This is where he wins it.
Did he? Has he never won yet? Because I think he's been nominated.
Yeah, £7. He won for £7. Oh, I'm
Movie was
kidding.
Not
That
good. I was like, well, I hope not.
I just have this sneaky feeling that this is going to be the Will Smith moment, and then we're going to get more Will Smith doing Will Smith in every other fucking movie.
No, we're getting into the categories where I think Power of the Dog is going to start dominating, and I think Benedict Cumberbatch was phenomenal in this movie. Like, he was such an asshole, and at the other part of it, is such an emotional, just the way he was in every scene. Like he had range, and I think this is going to be his movie. So whereas I don't think supporting actor is going to get it, I think for leading actor, I think Benedict Scott does.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And not that it wasn't great in it. I just think that there's too much other stuff. And I think, like I said, I think Garfield's going to take it. I think that they're going to be like, oh, yeah.
This will be an interesting one to watch because
Oh, I
we're
know.
all on different pages on this one.
Do you want to bet?
What do you want to bet?
Hand jobs.
I don't know.
Well, then Benedict wins
um,
if we're going with content.
lunch
Big
or
gay
something?
cowboys. Yeah, I'll buy you lunch.
All right, cool. You want to shake?
Yeah.
See? Hand jobs at the table.
Fucking gross.
Okay. So in order for me to win,
Hand jobs and lunch. Got it.
Benedict Cumberbatch has to win.
No, for me to win. I picked Benedict
picked
Cumberbatch.
Benedict
That's what I
Cumberbatch.
just said.
Oh,
And-
for you to buy me lunch, Benedict has to win.
And for you to buy me lunch, anybody else has to win.
No, it has to be your pick, Andrew.
Oh,
Andrew
so if
Garfield.
somebody else gets picked, then it's
well, yeah, then
null
it's a
and
wash,
void?
and then he buys us lunch.
Okay. All right.
And then I'll tell you,
then
we're all,
we'll just go out to lunch
then
and
I'll
talk
just tell
about
you
how
where all
dumb
the
we
cool
are.
snacks are.
Yeah, exactly. Exact.
All right. And last but not least, can we get a drum roll, please?
I I like that better. It's fresh.
Of course, because then you don't have to actually do work.
Exactly.
He's mad that I broke the silence, and he's probably mad that I'm about to wake up his kids. So he's kind of a twofer on that
but
one.
I don't really care about him waking up. But
It's Kim's problem.
yeah, exactly. No, but
She'll never hear this.
no, I want you to add the drum roll. I think the drum roll is good.
It'll be in there.
Anyways,
Can I do the one from like Christmas Vacation?
no.
Oh, I love that one.
So we have Belfast, we have Coda, we have Don't Look Up, we have Drive My Car, we have Dune, we have King Richard, we have Licorice Pizza, we have Nightmare Alley, we have The Power of the Dog, and we have West Side Story. All right, so I think Scott wants Coda to win, but here's the thing, Scott, before I let you speak.
I'm putting
on
this right now.
Oh, shit. Coda is a great movie. Coda is a fantastic film. It's very... But my problem with Coda, which we've already discussed, is that it is like every other feel-good movie. You know, the beats of the movie are so predictable, and that doesn't...
But what does that matter?
It doesn't, but it
It's
matters
best
in a best
picture.
It's not the best picture.
It is.
It's a good picture.
I think this wins.
Okay.
I gotta
This
say,
wins.
it is one of those movies where it's the second most awkward sex scene I've seen in the past 2 weeks. So I would X and Coda. Are
But
pretty-
it was super funny in the movie.
it's hilarious in
because
context.
she's got her friend over and her
like,
deaf
oh,
parents are
these
banging
parents,
because they don't know
even
she's
know.
home.
They're
Right,
so-
because they're deaf.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's
good.
a comedy. But it has all the beats of a feel. It makes you feel good.
But I picked
it's fucking candy.
Yes, I picked up this movie again. I was trying to watch some content for the Oscars. I knew I wasn't going to get to all these movies, so I happened to grab this movie because it was on the list, and I was like, "What's this movie about?" And I was like, "Deaf people."
Child of a deaf.
Okay.
Deaf adult.
So I threw this in.
That's what it sounds.
And I'm
like.
watching this movie, and I was glued to my freaking screen, man. I'm like, this is such a good movie.
It was fun.
It's not groundbreaking by any means.
Correct.
What movies in these categories are?
Drive My Car.
Power of the
Dog.
Power of the Dog is something that is like, I feel like it's got elements of things that have been done before. It's just one of those things. It's like, oh, it's a story. Oh, he was the abused one.
Don't
Yep.
ask Sam Elliott.
Yep. So I mean, it's again, if I'm going
gaze.
Best Picture, this for me.
Are you just
This
shrugging
was-
off abuse?
No, no, no.
For a feel-good story. This is what I'm talking about.
No,
Whatever.
I just said these are things that all these movies have things that have been done before.
Scott just
There is-
knows that he grew up in a household where his parents didn't listen to him either.
Yes, exactly.
He's
No,
like,
I mean,
get it.
again, I just felt that this was a quality movie.
I'm going to say that in this entire category, it is probably the more upbeat of every one of these. Like I watched every single one of these except for Belfast, but I read about it and I read the plot, so I kind of get it. I think it's probably the more upbeat. It definitely ends a little more upbeat than every one of these. I think it's a good movie. I'm with Aaron. I don't feel it's a Best Picture nominee. Like, I don't think it's going to win based off of everything else in this category. There are so many powerhouse movies. It's
the sleeper.
So many.
It's the sleeper, I'm
that's-
telling you.
Then that's a sleeper, and that's your pick.
It's
would I like
probably-
it to win? Sure. It was a good movie. Like, I was very surprised. And it would be pretty groundbreaking for a Apple produced, Apple released movie to win this category, and it's pretty groundbreaking. I know Netflix did it a few years ago. I know Amazon did it with Manchester by the Sea. Apple now getting into the arena. This is their big one. I don't see it winning Best Picture.
So here's the deal. As much as I agree with you and as much as I just don't want this to win Best Picture, not because I don't like it, and the other reason is because I don't want Scott to be right. This is one the SAG Awards, the Producer Guild Award. It won BAFTA. A lot of people were saying Power of the Dog. Power of the Dog was going to take it, and that is my pick.
That's my pick.
However, Campion has come out and done some stupid shit.
Right?
So, I'm going with Coda for the win, although I don't want it to
Don't
win.
you dare ride my tails.
I'm not riding your tails. I'm basing this off of other things. So Coda is going to win this thing. However, if it doesn't, if they look past Campion's
It'll be Power of the Dog.
stupid fucking dumbness, Power of the Dog is going to win Best Picture. What do I want to win Best Picture? Drive My Car. That ain't going to happen.
No.
It's not.
I
And
want
I
it.
want it to, but it isn't. Because it is the Best Picture of the year. However, with that said, my pick is Power of the Dog. My wild card is Coda. I think Coda's going to take it. I want I'd rather Power the Dog take it.
I think Power of the Dog is going to win it, and it's not going to be based off anything that it's Campion related. If she fucks something up, it's going to be her best director. I don't think they're going to punish a good movie based off her stupidity. I don't think they are. The movie's good. The movie is just too good.
Yeah, this pick is purely based on just my opinion.
Right.
I'm not going with like where I would go
fine.
before
That's
and
what
say,
we're here
oh, this is what the Academy people are going to pick. This
No,
one is
but-
actually because I watched Coda, and I was like, this is a fantastic movie. So I started doing some lookups on like Oscar stuff. And the buzz was that this was kind of coming from the back.
Yes.
And that it's basically the power of the dogs to lose at this point. So then I watched Power of the Dog because I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
So I watched Power of the Dog. And if I'm saying what's a better movie to sit and watch, Coda is a better movie to sit and watch. So I get Power of the Dog. You know, I mean, I
That's
get it.
because it makes you feel good. You don't want to watch Power of the Dog because it's sad.
But there's a
is
lot
sad.
of elements to Coda that it's, you know, the struggle of her and her family and the fact that she wants to branch out, but she knows she can't because she can't
Feels
let
like she
her
has to-
family down.
she
Yeah,
feel-
you know,
it's one of those.
it's
You
a-
got to take care of the family.
it's a super gut-wrenching movie that makes you, I don't even know if it feels good because,
So-
dude, I sat there like fucking just crying in the fucking chair.
Yeah, but you guys
It's
feels the
well,
vocal
I know,
cords.
and that, dude, the
He
fucking
loved
waterworks,
his-
dude.
He loved his daughter.
Yes,
That's
it
not-
was, and
it's-
maybe because I
we
have
all
two
love
daughters, you know, and it's
maybe.
like maybe it's a more of an
Are you gonna
emotional.
feel their necks when they sing?
Yes.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Well,
for
and
now?
my daughter does choir and she sings and all that
and
stuff,
it's
so
like,
it was
you know,
probably
she does-
very close.
She does the big audition or whatever, and the family kind of
And they
sneaks
sneak
in, and
in.
she sees him, and it like
and
it
she starts
lifts her spirit.
signing to him,
Right,
And,
and
dude,
so-
I was like a fucking baby, dude.
Yeah,
I was like,
there's
"Oh,
great
fucking
things
cry
about-
it. Dude, I was
Oh,
like,
this movie's great.
I liked it when she was at the pageant and they turned off the sound of the movie. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
for a while. And then you're just getting lips, and you get that whole deaf, you know, that
Dude, you get the
yeah,
deaf
whole
feeling.
deaf
You know,
feeling,
I
man.
could hear my fucking, fridge in the back. I'm sure that worked better in the theater. However, Power of the Dog did win Best Film at BAFTA. That guy that you think is going to win Best whatever.
Concert.
Yeah, he won Best Actor at BAFTA. So we don't know, but I think it's between those two. I
Yeah,
think if you're
I
gonna,
agree.
if you're betting man, I would split your money between Power and Coda.
Yeah.
That is what I would do.
One on red, one on black.
You know, there's always
Always bet
sometimes
on black.
a fucking wild card. Nightmare Alley could win. I doubt it.
I don't think it will be. Like, I watched this movie last night, and though I found it to be a very interesting movie, I don't think it's going to win in this category based
No.
off everything around it.
Right.
Like, if this was like the outlier, and
Did
there
you
was
love
other-
it though?
I can't say that I loved it. I do
get out of
feel
my house.
no. I like this movie a lot. Like, and now I can go and watch the original. Like, you do the reverse of how you do it. Just kind of see the difference between the original and this one. You're right. I think Stanton Carlisle is completely unlikable after the first 20 minutes of the movie. Like, just I don't like him. Like, you want him to fail. Like, I don't want him to win. I felt so bad. I loved his wife. She's so mousy, and she like was genuinely a pure person in this movie. And
Done banging fish.
that wasn't her.
Oh, was it?
No, the other one was a French actress. This is one of the Mara chicks,
Damn
Rooney
it.
Mara.
Rooney Mara. I
She
thought
was
it
the
same
girl with the
person.
dragon tattoo.
Oh, that's it. That's what I'm thinking of.
But she was great in this movie. I think everyone was really good in this movie, and I almost once things start to happen, he's on the run, and then he gets in the car, and he gets all. So as soon as I saw him with a beard and the thing, I'm like, oh, he's gonna be a geek. Like this is his fate. And then 10 minutes later, that's how it ends up, and you're like, he got it in the end. Like that just comeuppance. Like they told you what happens, and how they get them. And the second he offered him the job, I'm like, oh fuck, like he did it anyway. So like he's very unlikable. I think for me, I felt the way they marketed it, I almost felt like most of the movie was going to be, and because I've never seen the original and I never read the book, I felt most of this movie was going to be carnival based, where that ended up going away around minute 50 out of a 2.5 hour movie, and the rest of it was a good movie. For me, I was like expecting more carnival type stuff, and it ends it, and then it kind of goes on its other trajectory, which was really good, but it was like, fuck. And then he starts making the mistakes, doing the things that he was told never to do. I'm like, oh, you're a fucking asshole. Like, I just kept going, you fucking moron. Like, I just was so mad at him the rest of that movie. But I thought it was good. I just, in these categories, I don't think it stacks up to what's been put out.
That's fine.
And that's my only thing.
You
I would say it's about a 3. It's better than average. And
Terrible.
No, I love Guillermo del Toro.
I'm just kidding.
But it's a 3.5. Like it's a good movie. I want to see it in black and white. So I don't know. You got the movies recently.
No.
They didn't add it.
Nope. And I think I'm gonna have to buy another disc.
Yeah,
which is fine. I'll do it. Let's see here. Like I said, I love Licorice Pizza. I think that's just going to be a hangout movie. I like, kind of like, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was nominated, and I think Tarantino won that for that movie. I really, really recommend people checking it out. And I don't want to hear the bullshit. Oh, he's 25 and he's 15, because that is not what the movie's about at all. And it's just a really good hangout film. And
it's one of those Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a Dazed and Confused. It's one of those just period movies that you just love. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I
can't wait.
I don't like the actress.
You don't like her? I like her a lot.
Weird teeth. But I think I think the movie was good though. Like I really enjoyed it, and I didn't feel like at first I'm sitting there going, "Oh, that's Philip Seymour Hoffman's kid," and then it just washes away. Like you don't really, you don't start making those comparisons anymore. Whereas when I watched The Many Saints of Newark, I kept thinking, this is what's his face's son. Right. And I know he's playing the same character, so
sucks.
It was bad. It was so bad. And I know he's being his dad, so yes, he's gonna act like him. I just couldn't get past that. You're that guy. You got the job because you look like him, you talk like him.
I'm also pissed off that Licorice Pizza was supposed to come out on Blu-ray like a month ago, and now we have to wait till the middle of February. But luckily, I got the screener copy. Not that I'll ever watch it, but I got a screener copy from a friend. So, all right. So that was our Oscar show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be back next week with Scott's pick, which is Dragon Slayer. Then I'll make him pick, and we will be back with the snack show. Huge snack show this time, guys. Be ready. Be ready for an all chip snack show. We have other things than chips, but it's like we chipped it up this time. We got all the good ones for you.
So much crunching.
It's going to be
I actually had to take one of them out of my box because you had sent me a picture and you're like, I've got like 9 bags of these barbecue chips. I'm like, well, shit, I don't want to bring these ones. So I opened it up today, and I'm glad I didn't bring it because they were not good. It was supposed to be like a baby back ribs from Royal Farms that I got in the mail. Damn. And honestly, it tasted nothing like the other baby back ribs that we tried from that other brand.
I also have a rib
and
chip.
These just tasted like barbecue sauce, and it was nothing special. I'm glad I didn't bring it. Honestly, like I'm probably never even going to eat the rest of that bag.
Well, bring it for me tomorrow.
I'll bring it over.
2 weeks now. Let's we'll discuss off here. All right, everybody. I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan.
And Scott.
And we'll see you guys back here next week for Scott's pick. Have a great Oscar-filled weekend. Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.